Welcome back, Nutcrackers. It's your boy Sir Chucklenuts here with another one. And today we are reacting to the 6 most disturbing abandoned building encounters caught on camera. Shout out to Chiller Scares for this reaction. And let's get started.
Urbex Hill is one of the most popular urban exploration channels on YouTube, featuring raw footage from YouTuber Chris Hill's visits to a lot of the more extreme abandoned buildings in the US. From abandoned mental hospitals to decommissioned military facilities, Chris explores all of it, but specifically places that a lot of even the more extreme explorers wouldn't visit, at least not at night and alone like Chris always does. In January 2023, he uploaded footage of his visit to the now abandoned Paul Revere Elementary School in Cleveland. After almost a century of use, the school was permanently closed in 2015 due to declining enrollment numbers. Although there are allegedly plans to turn the abandoned building into a housing complex, as of 2024, Paul Revere Elementary is still abandoned and in terrible shape.
In that picture, it does not look like it's in terrible shape, honestly.
From the moment Chris walks inside, it's pretty clear that the place hasn't been used in years and has been
That's a pecker.
Severely damaged by the elements, vandals, and the passage of time. The bottom floors are all flooded, the walls are peeling, the structure doesn't seem too sound, and there's rust, random papers, books, and all kinds of debris lying everywhere. Throughout the video, you can see messages written in seemingly fresh chalk on some of the whiteboards, confirming that people have been in the building recently.
So it's only been closed for 10 years? Wait, when was this video made? 1 year ago. And it's in that bad of shape? Since 1923? That's crazy.
This was actually Chris's second visit to Paul Revere Elementary. When he uploaded footage of his March 2022 visit to the school, several people in the comments mentioned they had either been students or teachers at the school and talked about how incredibly sad it was to see their beloved childhood school ruined by abandonment and lack of maintenance. A little after 10 minutes into the exploration, you can hear some sort of ruffling sound and other strange noises coming from somewhere in the schoolhouse.
Oh, hell no! Bro, if I heard any noise, I would be booking it. Like, let me show y'all the form real quick. Like, don't play. I would be booking it, bro. Like, nobody would be catching me. Like, nobody.
What is that?
You turned off your light?
Do you hear that?
So they see you, but you don't see them. Because you still have that small light, but you don't turn off your bright light. Decides to use the phone flashlight. Here, wait.
What is that?
Versus the actual flashlight he has. Bro sounds scary, I ain't gonna lie.
Somebody's here.
L booking it, bro. L running for him. Bro is speed walking. This gotta be fake.
As Chris turns a corner in the hallway, another person's flashlight.
Like, if I would have seen that, like I'm in Dead by Daylight, flashlight to the eyes, they go, ah! I see if they human or not. If they human, I'm just gonna say what's up, and I'm just gonna do the video with them. But if that's not human, it's like a security guard, booking it. And I ain't gonna say, oh, somebody's here. They know you here, bruh. They see the light. They probably just as scared as you. But L running for him though.
Can be seen shining down the hall. It looks to be just one person, who was likely either another urban explorer or a squatter. Still, at 1 a.m. in an abandoned building, it's obviously best to avoid drawing unwanted attention to yourself, especially when you don't know the other person's intentions, which is why Chris ultimately decided to run instead of making his presence known. Making sure to walk in the other direction to avoid running into anyone, he then heads to the library and explores the rest of the top floors.
Bro, still exploring. After encountering somebody, you're still exploring.
As he goes into the bathroom on the top floor, he has another encounter.
With the same person? Oh, even a closer space. Wow. Oh, hell no!
There's a Harbor Freight.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Oh, God.
Featuring raw
I ain't gonna lie. That just scared the shit out of me. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my God. Oh, I know it's here now. I'm not scared now. Oh, run! Run! What are you doing? Run!
Somebody's in there.
That's not somebody. That's something. Run!
Scared the out of me. Oh, man.
At the far end of the bathroom, what appears to be a human silhouette can be seen standing. At the far end of the bathroom, what appears to be a human.
Chat. Okay, that gotta be fake. I don't know though. All I know, I'm not even in full thingy, bro. That scared me. I'm gonna be genuine with y'all. That scared me.
Silhouette can be seen standing completely motionless. After the initial shock of the encounter, Chris draws his gun and goes back inside to confront the
He got a blicky?
man.
Oh wait, it's gonna be a jump scare,
Hello.
bro.
Oh, it's a f***ing toy.
Oh hell no.
Oh
Don't go
my god, that
investigate.
scared the out of me.
Don't go investigate.
As it turns out, the silhouette was actually a scary mannequin that somebody set up, probably to scare away visitors.
Bro.
What's most eerie is that even though we can't know for sure how long the mannequin had been standing there before the footage was shot, for some reason it fell forward just in time for Chris to see it, the most reasonable explanation being from the sound waves bouncing off the wall. Most people would have left as soon as they saw the mannequin, but Chris continued to explore the rest of the school, seemingly unmoved by the horrifying experience he just went through. Though not before clearing the entire rest of the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Sadly, some of the rooms in the school are filled with books, whiteboards, and other perfectly usable materials
Bro, my heart's still racing after that. I ain't gonna lie.
that could have been donated to another school before the building was abandoned.
Yeah,
But nobody seemed to care enough to give them away before the school was abandoned.
Honestly, snatch some of them books and sell them on eBay.
About half an hour into the visit, Chris climbs up to the roof, which in itself is pretty risky. Even if you don't care about getting caught by the cops, there's still a very high risk of the roof caving in, especially considering the state of the building when the footage was shot. Fortunately, he was able to climb down safely, but that's when a strange noise could be heard coming from the other end of one of the hallways.
Not again.
Safe is still here. I wonder what's in it.
That's just dog. We saw that. We saw you, bro. Bring out the blick. Bring out the blick. Shoot him!
As Chris explores one of the rooms, a strange howl can be heard in the distance, and as he raises his camera, you can clearly see a shadow moving behind the door at the far end of the room. By this point, it's pretty clear that not only are multiple other people in the building with him, but now he's possibly being stalked.
I told bro to leave.
Once again, Chris draws his gun and prepares for an encounter, but he doesn't find anyone in any of the rooms.
Thank God.
After this, he admits he's ready to call it a night and decides to head home, but not before this final encounter.
No, bro.
This place is weird as hell. Hello?
No, stop investigating!
Hello?
I'm skipping it, I'm skipping it, I'm skipping it.
I'm out.
As he struggles to find his way out of the school, the sound of footsteps can be clearly heard on the stairway directly above Chris's
Yeah, I
head.
don't know if I can do this one. I don't know if I can do this one. I'm not good with scary stuff. I can't. Scary stuff is not my strong suit.
But after running up and calling
Now, funny stuff, I won't laugh. But scary stuff, I will genuinely, like, no, bro.
out to see if he gets a response, nobody acknowledges him. Luckily, he was able to walk away unharmed and has continued to upload videos of his
That's only the first one. It gets more scary after this. I just realized.
visits to abandoned places pretty frequently.
So tasty, it could make Poseidon switch to a spoon. Holy divine taste from the Greek gods.
This
And I bet it was just somebody just as scared.
isn't just any chat, it's ClickUp chat. Sure, you can tag your team, ask questions, and even drop an
Honestly, I bet it's just somebody just as scared as him.
The Proper People is an urban exploration channel owned by Brian and Michael, two friends who travel the world in search of abandoned buildings. For the past 10 years that their channel has been active, Brian and Michael have built up a reputation for being a trustworthy channel that only uploads genuine footage of their explorations.
That's good.
In a niche of YouTube that's often plagued by cheap, fake footage from people trying to get their 15 minutes of fame, The Proper People has endured as one of the
That nun was arching for a booty pic. That's all I'm saying.
most reliable channels in the urbex space. They gained their fame from explorations of genuinely cool places instead of faking creepy encounters or anything of the such.
Thank gosh.
In 2016, they uploaded a video of their nighttime visit to the Jemison Center in Northport, Alabama, often referred to as Old Bryce Hospital. From 1939 to 1977, the Jemison Center housed hundreds of psychiatric patients and acquired a reputation for treating them pretty harshly. Often referred to as the creepiest building in Alabama, Old Bryce was closed
Sweet home Alabama.
in the late 70s and has since been reclaimed by nature and become a hotspot for urban explorers from all over the world. As Michael and Brian approach the location in their car, there doesn't seem to be anyone around, and after driving around the grounds for a while, the two YouTubers get out of their vehicle to begin exploring, settling on the basement as the first area to explore. After more than 4 decades of abandonment, the entire complex is almost completely destroyed, and while some of the walls are completely covered in all kinds of graffiti, some of them aren't even there anymore. With the state of disrepair of the Jemison Center, there's always a chance that the structure could collapse on itself and trap Brian and Michael inside. But as they go up the stairs to explore the top floor, it becomes clear that an unsound structure is the least of their worries.
Whoa, look at this. Look at this staircase out here. Oh.
What?
There's somebody there.
No way.
Oh.
What?
There's somebody there.
No way.
Yes, I see their light. They're out there. I swear on my life. Right there.
I hear him.
Should I say hello?
Yeah.
There's somebody out there. Let's go back to the car. This way. If it's somebody wanting to talk to us.
They were so high.
Let's go to the car now.
Oh yeah.
Some smart people.
As the camera pans to the window, the outline of a person holding up a light can be seen on the staircase on the opposite side of the
Right
building.
there.
Disturbingly, as up a light can be seen on the staircase on the opposite side of the building. Disturbingly, as soon as the uploaders turn off their light, the other person does the exact same thing, indicating they were watching and didn't want to be spotted. Chillingly, if you rewind the footage to when the YouTubers arrived at the top floor, you can clearly see a light outside the window frame, but it's unclear if the light was coming from the same person who was watching them. After calling out and receiving no response, Brian and Michael decide to go back to their car to avoid getting jumped or worse. It's hard to know what exactly the intentions of the other person were, but what's even more disturbing is the fact that there were no other cars in the area when they arrived and when they left, which means that whoever was there had arrived on foot and probably been there for a while.
That one wasn't that bad yet.
Ridgely Hospital was a women's psychiatric hospital in Lancaster, UK that operated for almost 100 years from 1916 to 2013. Famous for being one of the first psychiatric hospitals in the UK that fought for the humane treatment of mentally ill patients, Ridgely Hospital housed thousands of patients and used modern treatment methods such as electroconvulsion therapy to help patients with a range of disorders, from severe depression to obsession to mania.
Yo, if I have a depression and you start putting me in a chair, I'm like, ugh! You start shocking me till I'm no longer depressed. Like, bro, that's not gonna work.
In April 2022, YouTuber Exploring with Tom visited the site with 3 of his friends in the middle of the night. Throughout their visit, they were extremely loud and not aware of their surroundings, which is obviously not the best idea when exploring an abandoned building. Keep in mind that most of these abandoned buildings are still considered government property, which makes it illegal to trespass and explore the ground.
Ooh, actually, I have a story real quick. So me and my friend SynaSage, that's how y'all know him, but that's what we call him, and a couple other of our friends, Eli and Jeremiah, we were exploring this abandoned house, and while we were exploring it, me and Eli were going up the stairs because there's outside stairs and it went in. And as we looked in, there was this shadowy figure. By the way, we were there like the entire day. It was in the middle of a neighborhood and everything. And there's a shadowy figure. I'm telling y'all, y'all saw how scared I was there. Never been that. I think that's the most scared I've ever been in my entire life. I'm talking, I Superman jumped all the way down the stairs to the ground. And there was a bed out there, so I landed on this bed knowing there's probably some who knows what. And then we go back up there like 10 minutes later because we're kids, we're not leaving. And there was nobody there. There was only one door that led up there, and it was to the basement. Or no. To this, like, where did it go? I think it went to the basement, yeah. But the basement was just flooded. And, yeah. But that's, like, my story on, like, abandoned places. That's, like, the only abandoned place I've ever been.
Still, if you disturb a hostile squatter's home by being obnoxiously loud, getting arrested would probably be the least of your worries.
True.
We're not scared of you.
Oh yeah, well I am scared of you.
I think someone is here now, to be honest with you.
What the?
After hearing some strange noises coming from one of the rooms, the 4 explorers call out to see if there's anyone in the building, and this is where things get a little disturbing.
At least he's wearing it.
Be careful. There's someone there. Just like, see who it is. It might need help.
Hello?
Hello?
What? Go! 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 Yo! Come! Yo! Everyone okay? Everyone okay? Keep calm. Keep calm. Keep calm.
I'm not keeping calm. Right now they're in fight or flight mode. They all flighted. They all said nope.
What the?
The boy in the back is slow. God.
Don't hold you up. Get out. Get out. Get out. What do you want? He's right there. He's right there. What the? Yo. Yo.
Oh. Oh. He was chasing them?
As soon as one of the teenagers calls out, a man can be heard screaming from inside the room. Without thinking twice, Tom and his friends make a run for it back to their car, but disturbingly, the man isn't satisfied with just scaring them out of the building and ends up chasing them all the way to their car. It's unknown who the man was or what he wanted from them, but one of the theories that's been echoing in the comments is that he was probably a homeless person who got upset at the amount of noise Tom and his friends were making. It's probably not too pleasant to have 4 rowdy teenagers burst into the abandoned building you call your home and start yelling, laughing, and swearing. But still, it's good they were able to get away unharmed. In 2006, a 36-year-old man named Vincent Filya was living in the woods as a fugitive near Lugoff, South Carolina after being accused of abusing his stepdaughter. In September of that same year, he saw a 14-year-old girl named Elizabeth Schoaf getting off the school bus and decided to abduct her. Posing as a police officer, Filya arrested Schoaf on a supposed marijuana charge and led her to his hideout in the middle of the woods. For 10 days, Elizabeth was chained up and abused by Filya in the underground bunker beneath the hideout in what can only be described as a nightmare come true. Still, the girl was extremely resilient throughout the whole ordeal and came up with a plan to escape from the horrifying situation she found herself in. If she wanted to escape, Elizabeth knew that she had to get Vincent to like her. For several days, she pretended to be in love with Filya, and eventually the kidnapper lowered his guard, even unchaining her and allowing her to play games on his phone. One night, while Vincent was sleeping, the teenager got a hold of his phone and sent a text to her mom saying she was in a hole across the Charm Hill, that there was a bomb, and to call the police. As it was later revealed, Filya had planned to draw in as many people as possible to the bunker to detonate a bomb and take the lives of the responding officers. However, he never managed to carry out his plan, for just a few minutes later the area was surrounded by helicopters and he was forced to surrender. To make a long story short, Elizabeth was able to move on with her life, and the monster named Vincent Filya spent the rest of his life in prison, where he died in 2021 in his cell. In December 2023, a YouTuber named Big Banks visited the abandoned hideout where the terrifying crime took place.
No way.
Immediately upon entering the house, the uploader finds something extremely disturbing.
I think this was the...
Hey guys, guess what? You know what type of car that was? You know what? Slug bug. Ha! Got y'all. Sorry, had to. Sorry, guys.
The little girl's backpack that was left here. What a sad sight to see, knowing that that happened.
A little girl's backpack can be seen on the floor outside the kitchen. Although it's impossible to confirm if it belonged to Elizabeth Schoaf, it is possible that it was planted there after the crime by somebody else. As he explores the living room, the uploader finds more creepy stuff, including a DVD of the horror movie The Strangers, a Halloween decoration next to one of the couches, a shank, a broken baseball bat, and a ripstick. Obviously, the fact that these items were left behind is much more disturbing when you consider the history of the house. It's heartbreaking to imagine that some of the toys lying around the floor possibly belonged to the girl that Vincent Filya had stolen. Throughout the rest of the house, several objects and pieces of furniture, including the bed in the main room, look like they were placed there much later than 2006. It's possible that the house was occupied by squatters, but because it was empty at the time the footage was shot, it's impossible to know what belonged to Filya, his common-law family, his victim, and the squatters. Thankfully, after being reunited with her family in 2006, Elizabeth went on to live a fruitful life, and the man who committed the heinous crime against her paid the price for it. Holton Avenue is a notoriously creepy abandoned street in Cleveland, Ohio. In 1913, the first Hungarian Baptist church was built on that street, eventually falling into disuse and being left abandoned like the rest of the buildings on that street. In April 2016, the body of a woman named Jessica Coleman was found there after she went missing, but unfortunately her attacker was never found. In July 2023, Chris Hill went to the location to record footage of the abandoned church, as well as the rest of the buildings on Holton Avenue. From disturbing graffiti to broken glass and peeling walls, the church checks every box you would expect from a creepy, abandoned building. As he ventures into the basement, Chris finds signs that someone else had been inside the church, including an action figure of Melvin the giraffe from Madagascar that he mentions he doesn't remember seeing the last time he visited the location. Knowing that he's often not alone during his explorations, Chris set up several cameras throughout the church, and about 10 minutes into the exploration, one of the cameras on the main floor captures something pretty creepy.
That's weird. What's upstairs?
Obviously, doors don't just randomly shut themselves, and as it wasn't particularly windy that night, it's clear that someone was in the church with Chris. But after looking around for a bit, he can't find anyone in the church and decides to head back outside to explore the rest of the buildings on Holton Avenue. If the church was in a messed up state, some of the houses are even worse, with most of them looking like they could collapse at any second. Around half an hour into the visit, he decides to explore one of the most dilapidated houses on the block, and as he's in the basement, the exploration takes a scary turn.
It actually looks like it's just underneath the house. It's not really a basement. Still creepy. Sorry. I didn't know nobody lived there. It smelled like I knew somebody was in there.
As he's exploring the basement, a sound can be heard coming from the ground floor, and when he goes back up to find out what it is, a person pulls back the curtain. Immediately apologizing, Chris runs back out to the street, and that's when he realizes that despite the horrible state of the supposedly abandoned house, there was actually someone living in there with electricity. Clearly most, if not all of the abandoned buildings on the block were housing people now who didn't want him there, something he never encountered on his first visit. And with this newfound discovery, Chris called it a night. In February 2020, urban explorer Rhythm Rider explored an abandoned house at an undisclosed location with his exploration partner Zay Clark. According to Rhythm, the house used to belong to an old woman who had passed away. In complete contrast to most abandoned houses, most of the woman's possessions had been left untouched, indicating that the house had not yet fallen prey to looters and squatters who often take things that aren't theirs. All throughout the house, the two explorers find everything from beautiful tableware and silverware to ornately woven tapestries and
it's like a lot of actual silver, and you could sell that for probably a decent buck.
The fully equipped bar. Based on the calendars they found in the house, the property hadn't been occupied since August 2018. Just a few minutes into the visit,
Prime Fortnite, by the way.
Rhythm and Zay find something incredibly sad and disturbing.
Always been worried about something like this happening, and then it did. When we walked in here, we took a few steps in the door, and we saw this on the ground.
Is it a body? That has to be fake.
Now, for those who can't figure that, figure out what that is a body stain. And
that's where she died.
And you can see right there, there's a walker. So, unfortunately, it seems that the woman who had lived here had taken a bad fall, landed on the floor, and that's where she expired, unfortunately. It's
the word he used expired instead of dead, because YouTube doesn't like that, but that's extremely sad and disturbing. He explained that really well.
Extremely sad to us. It took us a good 20 minutes to decide what we're going to do here, and despite it feeling weird, we figured we still need to tell the story because this is a good reminder to everybody that you need to check on your loved ones. It seemed this woman had passed and was laying here for God.
Yeah, she hadn't been laying there for at least a month before somebody came in to check on her. Like, seriously, like, to y'all's loved ones, check on them weekly. Like, twice, like, you check on them 1 week, and then 2 weeks later, go check on them again. You don't even have to. You could just call them every week. But, yeah, seriously, guys. Check on your loved ones.
Knows how long before she was found, so check in on your loved ones, guys.
Right in the middle of the hallway, a human body stain can be seen on the floor next to a walker, indicating that the old woman probably had a bad fall and couldn't get up. Sadly, she passed away and her body decomposed before anyone could save her, which is a terrifying way to die. There appear to be signs that the woman's family members tried to sort through her things after she passed away, but overall, her various...
Why was it not cleaned, though? Like, usually, after a body's like that, they'll send somebody in there that clean it up, so the house can be resold. But she could have owned it, so who knows.
Belongings are in perfectly good shape, including her bathroom supplies, which were still there at the time of the recording. It's hard to watch the footage without having conflicting feelings. Even though the house is beautiful and you can easily tell that the woman who lived there with her husband was a talented, outgoing person, it's incredibly sad to see how she met her end. Overall, the footage should serve as a reminder to check in on your loved ones every time you get the chance, because nobody deserves to pass away like that. Since 2020, Ridden with Ryder hasn't gone back to that location.
Okay guys, thank you all for clicking onto this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget that like and subscribe button. Anyways, go check out Chill Scares if you want more videos like this. I hope y'all enjoyed. I know I got really scared in the first part and the rest of it wasn't really that scary, but if y'all enjoyed, don't hit that like button and that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. Love y'all.